Why does he have a car better than mine? Why am I not listened? Why everyone is looking at me in a weird way? If I didn't do that mistake, maybe right now I wouldn't be here. What do all of these statements have in common? Well, your ego can be seen as if it was a hamster spinning very fast on this wheel. And this wheel is used to produce energy for the factory of negative thoughts. Why? Because the ego is always the one feeling affected, feeling guilty, feeling like the world is against him. And this is exactly the reason why you have negative thoughts. It's because you let your ego take place. You let your ego take control over you. But if you could stop this little hamster spinning every single day on that wheel, you can give a peace of mind to yourself. I had a friend and she used to call me all the time, okay? And she used to tell me about her day and telling me, oh, she did that to me. Oh, he looked at me in this way. Oh, I don't understand why I made so many mistakes. Oh, I really don't get it. I tried everything. I tried my best and they still didn't like my job. And I did this and I did that. Why do I deserve all of this? And I knew, actually, I didn't know, but now I know that it wasn't her talking, it was her ego. She was letting this hamster produce more and more negative thoughts. I used to be this friend, okay? I used to be thinking all the time and saying, I did, I do not deserve. Always thinking about I. Never taking responsibility of the things happening around me and how I could handle things around me, okay? Because you can never and you will never be able to control what's outside of you, but you have the power to control what's inside of you. That's why in this video I'm going to give you the first steps that you're going to need to stop overthinking and take control over your thoughts. So try to observe all the noise, okay? Try to talk in the third person and say, hey, wait, why is this person having a bad day? The person is you, obviously. Why did I miss the bus? Why did he miss the bus? Why did he eat that food that made him so sick? Do you see that when you put everything in the third person, you realize that maybe some things are your responsibility, okay? And the world is not against you. But I know it's the harsh truth. People don't like the word responsibility. They don't want to take responsibility. But I'm here to just speak facts. So if you have the possibility, while you're having all these spiraling negative thoughts that will just burn you out, try to document in the third person. Either write them down or record yourself, put your headphones on or pretend to be on a phone call and start talking in the third person. He missed the bus. He was looked at in a weird way. Was he though? He didn't do a good job. Did he though? So try to contest every single thing, every single thought that you're having before it gets before it's too late and then you're just exhausted from them. Just see those thoughts as mosquito bite. You might be addicted to cortisol, which is the hormone of stress, and therefore you might like it to think negatively. But a mosquito bite, you might scratch it and feel comfortable in that moment, but at some point you're gonna bleed. And that's what happens with your thoughts. At some point, you're gonna end up very, very depressed and you're gonna need to spend thousands of euros in therapy. You don't want that, okay? So that's why it's important to take control as soon as possible. Step number 2. Cartesio said,
Cogito ergo sum.
what does it mean? It means I think, therefore I am, okay? Because we think, therefore we are. But it doesn't mean we are what we think. So we need to stop identifying ourselves with our thoughts, especially the negative ones, okay? We are not what we think. We are, we think, therefore we are, okay? Usually people tend to identify with what they have, okay? So I have this very rich friend and he has a beautiful car, okay? And one of his neighbors bought a even more beautiful car. And he was like, oh my God, I just bought this new car, but he's trying probably to play a game and he bought a better car. And I told him, and so what? Like, you just enjoy your car. You don't have to go and compare yourself to your neighbor. And he said, yeah, but it kind of like bothers me. It's not bothering you, okay? It's bothering your ego. You don't need the car of your neighbor. You don't need a better car. You are not your car, okay? Imagine I ask you, who are you, okay? You're not gonna start saying, oh, I am my car that I bought for 100,000 euros, or I am my studies of medicine. You're not gonna say what you have. You cannot identify with what you have, therefore your thoughts. You're not gonna even probably able to answer this question unless you identify yourself as consciousness. Consciousness, you say, I am me. I am me in the present moment. Yes, did you ever realize that the more you have, the more you want, and the more you're scared to lose what you have? So you work double and you never stop to just enjoy what you have. You never stop in the present moment. You're just chasing and chasing and chasing. And that's where this concept spoken about from Serge Marquis, or from this book that I've read, is that maybe we should stop talking about growth. We usually talk about personal growth, which is great. However, sometimes if we want this growth to be effective, we need to apply what he says is called décroissance personnelle, which in English can be translated ungrowth, or downgrading for a little bit, to just enjoy what we have in the present moment. This is exactly when we need to do with our lives. We need to learn how to ungrow sometimes, how to just appreciate what we have, even though it's very simple, okay? Instead of just wanting more and more, or overthinking things because we want to be looking like a certain way, or looking like someone, or doing the same things as someone, being as good as another person, or have certain things that in the actual moment we don't have. But maybe if we apply the personal ungrowth and we realize what we have and what we can do about it internally, then it's when we grow even more, okay? And it's all related to all the concepts I spoke about in the new self era. Then the law of attraction will help you to get even more beautiful things, because you're able to appreciate what you have in this exact moment, as simple as it is. And the last step to stop overthinking cannot be neglected. It's something that you say and you always oversee just because it's super easy. It's super easy, but you don't stick to it. You literally neglect it and you forget that you have this superpower, which is breathe. Just breathe. When you feel like your mind is spiraling in a negative circle, breathe, catch your breath for 3 seconds, then 5 seconds, 6 seconds. Look on YouTube, breathing techniques. You know, there is this guy who became very famous, who had really, really bad strategies in his life. He lost his wife, and then right after he lost his brother, and then right after he lost his son, and it's a real story. And you know, he could have literally committed suicide because of the pain he was encountering. But what he did is to start breathing and doing ice baths. So I'm not telling you to do ice baths, even though they work because they release dopamine. But what I'm trying to tell you is to use your breath. Your breath helps your brain get oxygen and think better. So while you're observing your thoughts and you know it's not going well, you're about to cry, breathe, catch that breath and breathe. And the more you practice it, the more you stick to it, the more efforts you put in applying this routine to stop overthinking, the more results you'll see, and the better things will become, and the better things come. The more you see how many good things are coming on your way, how good life it is, despite the challenges. Life will always have challenges, okay? And let me tell you another thing is that your ego will always have something to complain about, or to cry about, or to feel guilty about. Your ego will never ever be satisfied. So you might as well learn these techniques to help alleviate feeling always like you're in the dark hole. You have the capacity, if you put a little effort, to stop the little hamster in your brain. And that's how you're gonna start feeling that life is actually good despite the challenges. But okay, we accept the game, and you can control what's inside you. But obviously, everything takes a bit of effort, and you have to create a routine to help your thoughts be controlled. Majority of the problems that make you suffer will be so meaningless in 5 years. So do you want to be sitting somewhere in 5 years and saying, oh my god, if I didn't really cry about that man or about that job or about that friend, and instead of wasting all of that time, I could have enjoyed more my life. So now you have the power to do it. Start from now. Doesn't matter what is your age. It doesn't matter where you are, what are you doing. Try to enjoy life despite the negative challenges that it might bring you. And trust me, I have been through several things, but I could have either done drugs and become a gangster and do some stupid stuff, or become someone like right now that helps people to connect with what they have and control what's inside them. All right, so this is the end of this video. I want to say thank you for 2,200 and more subscribers. This is amazing, and I hope I grow more. I want to get to 10,000, 100,000, 1 million, but always enjoying things in the present moment. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. See you. Bye.